Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Trenny and C. I'm Trenny, this is C. For those of you who don't know, it's just how it is.
Yeah. And tonight we have an episode about does whiskey go bad? Or can whiskey go bad? Or how does whiskey go bad? And you know
And
what?
why?
We're not scienticians.
No, not at all.
We don't know the details behind this stuff. We don't know the molecular bonds and whatnot.
No,
But we do know if whiskey goes bad.
we do.
So why don't you stick around, watch this little jingle, and get yourself a dram, and we're going to see you in about 30 seconds.
Trenny and C, drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why.
Alright, we're back, and today we're talking about whiskey going bad.
Does whiskey go bad, and why?
And okay, so I guess we gotta get straight to the point.
Yeah.
That whiskey does go bad.
Whiskey does go bad.
And we've experienced this on a number of occasions.
Yeah, it's just like, so when you open a bottle of wine, a lot of the time you drink that bottle of wine in the first night or day or whatever. If you're a day drinker, I don't know.
Morning breakfast.
Morning, breakfast, whatever. If you're a kid in France. Anyways, so you open it, you drink it, and it's gone. Or you open it and you leave it, and wine goes bad within like 48 hours kind of thing. It's not necessarily bad.
Or days, but definitely.
Not bad, but it just it oxidizes, and the flavors and the structure of the actual chemicals in the alcohol
break down
and change, and the flavor structure goes out the window.
Yeah.
So
wine is a delicate beast.
So wine is delicate.
Yeah.
Scotch or whiskey has a little bit more staying power. So you can get, a bottle and open it, and it's good for, it tastes almost the same, if not better, like 6 months later.
Right.
It gets better as you open the bottle, because whiskey, unlike wine, does not age in the bottle. So it kind of stays at a standstill. However, it has the same components where if it gets too much oxygen to it for a certain amount of time, it breaks down. It just takes much longer.
And so we've had, and we can only speak from experience here, and in the cases where our whiskey has gone bad, in those times2 significant factors in both cases.
Yeah.
A, we've been down to the heel of a bottle.
Yeah, so like 2 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B, we've had what I would consider a loose cork or a soft cork. There was definitely an issue with the seal.
Yes.
And actually, there's a third factor with both of these whiskeys that went bad, and that was that they'd been open for years.
Yeah, quite a significant amount.
2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So, yes, whiskey can go bad, but in our experience, we have a lot of whiskeys. Let's take my oldest Booker's.
Sure.
My oldest Booker's has been open for about 4 years, and it's down to, I don't know, only a couple inches left, and it has not gone bad.
So, to one point to that is that Booker's is about 65% alcohol.
Right.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, that one's 65.7.
So the higher percentage of alcohol, I mean, eventually, if it was left uncorked and whatever, that alcohol percentage would go down because it evaporates.
Yeah.
Like wine we were talking about, it's a really low percentage of alcohol, so it goes bad a little bit quicker.
Right.
So I think kind of what we're saying is you can prevent whiskey from going bad. You can decant your whiskey into smaller bottles, so there's less of an air gap.
Right, that's true.
You can make sure that your bottle definitely has a seal.
A real good tight
seal.
cork or a good seal, or that you have kind of like found a way to seal that open bottle so that it's
Duct
not
tape.
getting. You could duct tape it shut.
Yeah.
That would be an option.
That works.
But so we've got actually one of our skunk bottles
Yeah,
here.
we do.
So let's pull one out here.
Sure.
We have, and the reason that we have this lovely bottle of Elijah Craig 12-year-old here is because we wanted to be able to compare and contrast it with this skunky bottle of Elijah Craig 12. And see, we were holding on to this little bit of Elijah Craig we thought there may be a video purpose where we would be able to use that without having to get into this brand new bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But then we were going through and kind of organizing our shelves and came across this bottle and we were like,
Ooh, what happened?
So I'm going to get a little bit of a zoom going on here and make sure you can actually see this bottle here. But look at the murky color of this bottle. And you can see
and we've had this
on
one
the
for a
bottom
couple
there's
years.
significant sediment. But look at that compared to just the ruby red kind of crystal clear look of the new bottle. And then here's your skunky old bottle. So clearly this has gone bad, this Elijah Craig. So yeah, like you said, it's been around for a couple of years. We've had it open for a couple of years. This is not a good cork situation. It definitely has some looseness to it right there. Like, it's got this 2 millimeters of play in the cork, which I think is why it's kind of suffering. Like, it turns around in there, no problem.
Cork is made from cork tree, and it dries out in certain dry environments. So the way people store their whiskey can have a huge.
Yeah, but unlike wine, you're really not supposed to keep the cork wet either.
Yeah.
So, but like when you've got it this much in the bottle, it kind of keeps it a little bit moist. Like you can see there's a little bit of a moisture on the bottom of this cork here, but you don't want it soaking wet either.
Not necessarily, yeah.
It's a delicate balance.
So this whiskey, both of these, are 47% alcohol, so they're relatively high. And yeah, look at this. You can't even see through it. It's like
that's
cloudy
very murky and
piss.
gross. Yeah, it's very disgusting looking. And when I came across it, I was kind of bummed out because it's an Elijah Craig 12, and they don't make it anymore. So.
Yeah.
So with them not making it anymore, I mean, it's a bit of a bummer.
It is a bummer because this was kind of like a rare bottle. One of the reasons we were keeping an inch or two is because we can't get our hands on it.
And we didn't want to crack into a new one just yet because, something like this could happen.
Special occasion.
So maybe we should move our drink we're having to the side.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Should we open a brand new one or should we drink the skunky whiskey?
I think we should try the skunky whiskey. And I would like to just say, so now that we've said it goes bad, this is going to be our first taste of
like truly disgusting whiskey.
Bad looking whiskey.
So like
this looks like it was distilled in, Uncle Cletus's backyard. Kind of thing.
In a mason jar that he had been pissing in. Smell it. Can you smell it first?
Huh?
How does it smell?
I get a better nose out of
How
the
does
glass
it pour?
here. A little syrupy. It is a bourbon, so
Your glass may be out of the picture because it's so far up there. But okay, so we have. Let's show them the glass too. Let's get a close up on the glass here. This is what a glass of skunky whiskey looks like for you here. Pretty murky, like you can't even see Trenny's face through that.
oh, the shame.
Nasty. Okay.
So, and I'm going to also point out that it doesn't necessarily reflect the quality of the whiskey because Elijah Craig puts out some of the best bourbon on the planet.
Yeah, and it was fantastic for many years.
In fact, we had a bottle of Wild Turkey just 81 that did the exact same thing. And that was because we had a really loose cork. It was just like...
It was actually a broken cork that we had taken off something else that we had used that Wild Turkey cork for. So, can you get sick drinking... Maybe that should be the title of this video. Can you get sick drinking bad whiskey?
We're going to find out, I guess.
Are we going to drink... We're not going to drink the whole glass.
Probably not.
Let's just taste it.
Let's just taste it.
Or
let's smell it
Let's
first.
nose it. it actually smells pretty normal.
Smells okay.
It smells a bit like the pool water, like when you're at.
A little bit of like pond water kind of scumminess.
To me, it smells a little bit chloriney.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Like there's something kind of like ammonia-y, kind of like chloriney. But do you know what I mean? Like it smells a little bit like you're at like a rec center.
And to me, that smells a little like stale. There's just a stale note to it.
Do you think that this is just all in our head?
It could be, but I don't think it doesn't smell like terrible necessarily.
Look at the difference.
But it smells like wet shorts. Like from a pool.
Yeah, so that's the rec center smell. Look at the difference in color there. That's pretty gross. Okay.
Okay, well I think we got to have a little sip at least.
Okay, one sip. It tastes actually just really. There's a bad finish on it.
Do you know what it tastes like? It tastes like a lot of the alcohol has disappeared out of it.
Yeah, it tastes like there's no alcohol in it.
Yeah,
it tastes like it's.
It's like this almost looks like it's the like wood resin juice or something, and the alcohol's been stripped out of it.
Interesting. Yeah, there's really no alcohol bite to it whatsoever, and it tastes kind of. The finish is pretty gross though.
Yeah.
It's still
a little bit sour.
It's a little bit better than Chuck-a-Nut.
It's definitely better than Chuck-a-Nut.
And it smells better than Rebel Yell.
Yeah. The finish, and sometimes when we say it has like a sweet and sour kind of a flavor to it, this just has like, and that's not in a good tasting note way. In this regard,
it tastes very
it's like a little sour, watered down
and sour, with kind of a bit of a like a bitter, like a red wine finish on it, like really kind of a dry, bitter, wood resiny. Yeah, so it's like it's basically a lot of the good components of Elijah Craig have been stripped out of it.
Yeah,
you know, like, and you're left with just this resiny kind of, just bitter.
And it's too bad because like the remnants that are there, it's like, oh, I remember when this was such a beast of a whiskey.
Yeah, but you know what? It's safe in here.
Yeah, it's safe.
For now. We've got the plastic seal still on here. But I mean, I guess in order to keep your whiskey safe, there's really no guarantee. I mean, but if you have like a half full bottle, I'm going to guess a half full bottle is going to last you many years.
Yeah, it should be fine. And so they have those things that you get for wine that you put over top and you can suck out the air so it gets rid of that gap. So you can buy that. You can use that for your whiskey as well, but
I almost think like that's risky too.
It's.
Oh, do you really want to mess with it?
Here's another example. I've had this bottle of the Laddie 10, classic Laddie 10 for a number of years.
Yeah.
And because it's been discontinued for probably 4 years or something. Yeah. And it's a similar, actually even a less of an amount.
Yeah.
But the
go show them that.
How clear that is. Looks clear and it looks good.
Yeah, that one still looks perfectly fine compared to this. And that's very low, but like, how's the cork situation on it? Tight cork?
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's also in the tin. I wonder if having it in the tin is keeping from having air circulating around.
It could. So one thing I did do, because I knew it was discontinued, is I decanted it to a glass bottle. This is an old Jameson bottle, and put it almost to the top in there, and it should keep forever that way. I just wanted a little sample of it, and for it to not ever go bad, so that's what I did.
Done.
Yeah. So those are some things you can do if you have like a rare whiskey or a whiskey that you don't want to go bad, but you want to keep for a long time. Put it in a smaller bottle so it lessens that air gap. And you should be gold. You should be golden.
I think what we need to do is we need the community, the whiskey community, to tell us. Like, leave a comment. Have you had a whiskey go bad on you? And if you have, what was the scenario around it? Like, was it possibly a loose cork situation? Was it the bottom of a bottle like this? Did it take 10 years for it to finally go bad? Like, What was the situation around that whiskey?
And did you drink it in the end?
Yeah, did you do it like us and just pour it in a glass and just keep drinking
Yes,
it?
yeah.
Like, hey, I paid good money for this. I'm drinking this shit.
I paid almost $1 a percentage. Yeah. So,
I don't think I should drink any more of that.
no, probably not. We should probably pour it back.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for watching. We're Trenny and C. Subscribe, click like, and tell us, does whiskey go bad?
If you pour good right for me tonight, make it cast strength for that extra bite. What else could I drink? A couple more grams, I think. I haven't been drunk in the longest time.